Hey guys, it's Michael. There's a lot going on in the world today between the second stimulus package, states reopening, and the virus in general. In today's video, I'm going to go over an interview yesterday where Kevin Hassett says, in quotes, that there will definitely be a second stimulus package. We're also going to go over a warning from Dr. Fauci and a lot going on with states reopening. But before we get into it, I want to announce that we're doing another giveaway in today's video. This is a $50 free stock giveaway. All you need to do to be eligible is like the video down below, be subscribed to my channel, and comment down below 3 of your favorite stocks. Any stocks that you like, your 3 favorite ones. I also want to announce that I'm starting a second channel where we'll be going over behind the scenes of my life. So if you're interested in entrepreneurship, making money in general, then please be sure to check that out. I'll link it down below. Anyways, before we get into the interview with Kevin Hassett and how he said there will definitely be a second stimulus package, let's first go over some key financial and economic news. So with states reopening, while the portrait of the country overall has improved significantly over the last couple of weeks, scientists have cautioned that different states are likely to experience very different challenges with reopening in measuring and controlling the spread of the virus. Right now, every state is at a different phase of reopening, and each state also has different measures for tracking and tracing the virus. Right now, the challenge is that states fall into one of 2 categories with reopening right now. According to data compiled by the New York Times, more than 1/3 of states right now have been seeing a new infections increase. They're seeing an increase in infections still. So that is not good. And then the other category that they could fall into is that states achieved a decline in the number of cases, but early on they had seen a massive spike in cases. So what that means is, while they may be seeing a decline right now, simply due to the sheer amount of people in the state who have been infected by the virus, this makes it more likely that there could be a resurgence of cases because social contact, and as social distancing measures decrease, well then people are going to come into contact more with people who have already had the virus. And they say that this could make it resurge and have a second wave of cases. So that is just something to keep an eye out for, because a lot of scientists are warning that recent declines in the number of cases can be quickly erased through increased social contact in the months to come, as people are coming into contact more often with people who are infected and who have had the virus. Next up is the resurgence of cases and what Dr. Fauci had to say and how he warned the American people in an interview the other day. So Dr. Fauci had a warning for everyone on Friday morning. He said that right now it is the perfect setup for the spread of the virus, in the sense that creating some blips which might turn into some new surges of the virus. He said this in response to what is going on with protests right now. So he said, while in some massive crowds people do wear masks, he says others do not, and even if people are wearing masks, there is no one who is social distancing when participating in a riot or in a protest. He said simply by being at a riot or a protest, that can cause a resurgence in cases and it can eliminate all of the hard work that has been done so far. Dr. Fauci is saying how he is very concerned with people meeting in these large groups at the riots and protests right now, and he says there is certainly a risk, a much higher risk than we had seen previously, and he is absolutely certain about that. So that is just something to keep an eye out on between states reopening and all the riots and protests going on. It may be a perfect recipe for a resurgence in the number of cases, and that is what Dr. Fauci is warning everyone about. Now let's get into the second round of stimulus checks and what Kevin Hassett said in the interview, where he explains the status of the second stimulus package and how he says there will definitely be another stimulus package. In response to the unemployment report released on Friday, Kevin Hassett had a lot to say about the economy. Right now, we know the unemployment report was actually miscalculated and the numbers in it were inaccurate by 3%. I go over this in a video I made yesterday. The BLS, the Bureau of Labor Statistics, included this note in the bottom of the report explaining how the numbers were off by 3%. But either way you look at it, right now, unemployment decreased in the month of May. According to the report, it decreased from 14.7% in April to 13.3% in May. We all know this already. There's been 2.5 million jobs added. So now let's look at what Kevin Hassett said. He said this in response to the report. 3 weeks ago, Kevin Hassett said that it was possible we would have a second stimulus package, but that we might not have one. Then 2 weeks ago, he said that there's a strong likelihood that we will have one. But then as of yesterday, in the interview he just had, he was asked by the reporter straight up, will there be a second stimulus package? That was the question. And he responded by saying, there will definitely be another stimulus package. He says that straight up. That is exactly what he was asked, and I'm going to link down the interview down below if you would like to watch the entire interview. But he goes on to explain what will be in the package and what is the timeline that they are thinking for this second stimulus package. So I'm going to get into that. He said right now they've hit rock bottom already, and they're coming back much faster than people expected, much faster than he expected. He said the only person that was expecting this fast of a recovery was the president. He said the president has been very optimistic about everything going on, but everyone else was very surprised by these numbers. He said the president has instructed them, all the White House officials, to watch the numbers carefully and get as many real-time numbers and real-time data as they can, because he explains how if you have all of this data and real-time information, then you could have a lot of options that are conditional on how the economy is doing. He said that basically the president right now is telling everyone to watch the numbers, watch the data that's coming out for May, then look at the new numbers for July, see how all of that is, and then have a number of options ready for when we see how the numbers progress. He said then we'll be able to better prepare and better make a second stimulus package if we already have options in place and we're looking at all of the data going on right now. Kevin Hassett goes on to explain the timeline of this second stimulus package, and he very much echoes what Larry Kudlow said yesterday in the video I made and the interview Larry Kudlow had. Kevin Hassett says that essentially with the first relief package, in quotes, that the president built a bridge that lasted until the end of July, or about the end of July. That is what he said. So basically what he is saying is that with the first relief packages and everything that has been passed so far, that we're not going to see the full impact of all of this money into the economy until July. He goes on to explain how formal negotiations for the second stimulus package will start after the July recess. This is exactly what Larry Kudlow said the other day. So this is good because we're starting to see everything line up. What Kevin Hassett said is originally 3 weeks ago, he had said maybe there might not be a stimulus package. 2 weeks ago, he said strong likelihood. And now he's saying there definitely will be one. And what he and Larry Kudlow are saying is that it's going to happen after the July 4th recess, and that economists and Congress has to simply look at all the data that's being released and look at it and evaluate it after the July 4th recess. They want to have a lot of options in place for when the data is released so they know how to best create a second stimulus package that targets the people who need the money the most. And while all of this is good news with Kevin Hassett, how he says there will definitely be a second stimulus package and the timeline is now after the July 4th recess, there is another side to this that I want to point out, and that is that Art Laffer and Stephen Moore, who are two economic advisors at the White House, they said in interviews that the job reports show that Congress does not need to approve additional stimulus measures given the uptick. They said that by looking at these numbers, we don't need to approve more stimulus money. In the interview, Stephen Moore said how it takes a lot of wind out of the sails for a second stimulus package. He said there's no reason to have a major spending bill. The sense of an urgent crisis is very greatly dissipated by the report. Basically what he's saying is, why would we spend more money when now numbers are getting better? However, according to everyone else in the White House, they're saying that we're definitely going to have a second stimulus package. It's not going to be a $3 trillion package. It's not going to be a huge stimulus package, but it is going to have targeted support in the package with direct stimulus payments. It may have tax cuts in there, but it is going to be more heavily focused and targeted than the previous stimulus packages because they said they're not going to be spending another $3 trillion. So what Art Laffer and Stephen Moore are saying does have some truth to it, because looking at what they're saying is they're saying we don't need a major spending bill. And according to everyone that has spoken so far out on this, all the White House officials, they said that the next stimulus package is going to be much smaller than the HEROES Act, which was a $3 trillion package that was proposed by the House. Right now, McConnell has said that they want to spend $1 trillion or less on the second stimulus package. However, Trump said the other day that he wants to include an infrastructure package, have more tax cuts, and that they would be willing to push it over $1 trillion a bit if it includes these other items. And then finally, another point coming from Mitch McConnell and the Senate, which is exactly in line with what Kevin Hassett says, is that Mitch McConnell just said that there are no plans to do a stimulus bill before July 3rd. He said, we're going to wait until after the July 4th recess, and when we meet after the July 4th recess, that is when we will talk about a second stimulus package and more stimulus measures. So according to Mitch McConnell, who is the Senate Majority Leader, according to Kevin Hassett, and according to a lot of other White House officials, they're saying that right now the timeline is after the July 4th recess, but that there will definitely be a second stimulus package. I'm going to link down below all of the interviews if you would like to watch the entire interview with Kevin Hassett. I'll link that down below. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to get your 2 free stocks valued up to $1,400 when you sign up for the Webull investing app, 1 free stock when you sign up for Robinhood, get $5 when you sign up for the Acorns investing app. Thank you so much for watching. Please be sure to like the video down below, leave a comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.